These two little parts right here can make a big difference to you guys with 996s, as in protecting your engine and protecting and or fixing your transmission. We're gonna install both of these today, along with some other things that need addressed on this car. That list is endless. So what I have here is the second gear detent. It's basically an improved version of the OEM one. It's supposed to help the car from popping out of second gear, either preventing it from happening or potentially fixing it if it has already happened. And this is the updated / upgraded oil pressure relief valve, which is gonna go on the engine, obviously. That's supposed to help up oil pressure a little bit during startup, warm up, idle, I believe. Don't quote me. And while I'm doing that, since we're gonna lose some oil, I actually need to change the oil in this car since it hasn't ever been done since I purchased it in the summer of 2022. Granted, I haven't put many miles on it because it's basically lived here in the garage on jack stands. Now at the same time, I'm gonna replace the transmission fluid as well, because who knows when or if that's ever been changed. Since I got it up in the air and messing with the transmission now is as good a time as ever to do that. Well, that's not coming out of there. Not a chance of that. Whew. That was way more oil than I expected. Holy crap. I can't believe it holds that much. Can't get the turbo oil drains drained, but it's not the end of the world. I'd rather not mess with something and end up having a catastrophic failure. Now, with any luck, I'll be able to drain the oil from both the sump and pressure relief valve in the same pan at the same time. But if you know me, I'm not very lucky. Oof. But did I get it? Yes, I did. Ah, sweet. Oof. There is the spring. Oop. And there is the old, whatchamacallit, thingamabob. So let's compare these two. Well, that is not gonna work, gentlemen. Somehow, I got the wrong cup, if that's what you want to call it. That sucks. It's the one that everyone said to get. Another parts fail. I either broke something or broke it loose. Ah, broke it loose. That one wasn't nearly as tight. Here comes a flood. Oh shoot, that looks freaking pretty doggone clean. Wonder when this was serviced last. Probably recently. That might have been a waste of time. That's some of the cleanest looking transmission fluid I've ever seen. I have made quite the mess. Holy crap, boys. We got oil everywhere.
was able to sneak a pry bar up in here, I was able to break that loose. So I just have to slowly and surely work it out, which is not fun. This is gonna be like one very small turn at a time. Nice, right in the oil. Outstanding. Here an hour later, I think I can get it by hand. Yes, it's sort of spinning. Yes, oh, it's out. Well, the cover is. Actual detent, no, not yet, but there. Whew, boys, that was a lot of work. I don't know that I would recommend anyone doing this, really. Spot is so tight, I don't even know if I can get a magnet in there. All right, the spring is out. Spring up here is fine. Let's not lose that. Get this in any sort of gear. Oh, there it moved. Come on, little buddy. Oh, there it is. Aha. Oop, got him. Oh, part of the battle's over. Now, with any luck, I can slide this in rather easily, but it is a tight fit. 90 degrees. Oh, I thought this would be the easy part. Many hours later, getting the new one in with the spring. Stay. This just sucks. This is a large pain. This would be way better with the transmission out of the car. Problem is, I can only get one hand on it. Slow and steady wins the race. This is a lot of fun. It's just one like half turn at a time.
Well, guys, I messed up again. I like to think I do pretty good research, but what I didn't realize was with the oil pressure relief valve and spring setup, they only have a problem on the non-turbos, like the Carreras and stuff. I didn't realize that, so that was a waste of money, so I'm going to put the stock one back in. Also, when it comes to it's under the car. Also, when it comes to the second gear detent, this was supposed to be a G-Box unit. I've been informed that this is a cheap knockoff that Mad Hornet sells.
And back underneath we go. Yeah, wow, there's just a slew of oil everywhere. Well, I gotta get back up in there. You see how I can't, I can't shift it. I gotta pull that back out of there. Tiny turn at a time.
Measuring the OD of this in multiple areas compared to the stock one, this is significantly thicker and basically wouldn't work. I put it in the car and I couldn't shift because it wouldn't slide down in all the way. So I'm going to put the stock one back in, but I didn't get a whole set of ball bearings, so I'm going to put an 8mm ball bearing in there, give the spring a little more pressure. That's supposed to be just as effective. So at least this wouldn't be a total and complete waste of time being cramped on the car for hours trying to get that little tight area.
I'll try to show you guys how I had this set up. Hopefully you can see. I lowered the transmission just a little bit, and then I have just a regular old Allen key up there. Pretty fat boy. You know, you just turn it basically a quarter turn at a time. Really the main thing in the way are these cables for your hands and the starter, because once it gets to there, it actually, my Allen key hits the starter. So if I were to cut this off, I could get more turns out of it and it would go a lot faster, but no big deal. I'm almost done. Hopefully it works this time with the OEM detent and a ball bearing.
You live and you learn. I show you guys my mistakes. It's not the end of the world. I'm gonna put my dirty, oily, nasty, sweaty clothes back on, get under the car, finish that stuff up. And I also got a whole set of different copper and aluminum washers for all the different drains that I pulled out of the car, and then I can fill it up with oil, change the filter, do all that good stuff. A lot of work laying on my back.
Got it in, and we can successfully and easily shift now, other than the shifter hitting this because I have the transmission lowered a little bit, which leads me along to these transmission mounts. Probably going to replace them. They are OEM, probably never have been done, but either way, back to the shifter. Definitely shifting just fine now. Good news there. Now, I want to take all these back out, get the proper washers on them. Oh boy, there's still more tranny fluid in there. This guy, at this point, I have a big mess to clean up. Yep, there we go. Now let's get set up with the right washers and whatnot. Reassemble the oil pressure relief valve. Just get that back in the car, get the transmission plug back in the car, then the other two plugs which are still underneath. Luckily, I don't see anything abnormal in this. I might cut this open in a little bit and just see what it truly looks like. Nothing glaringly obvious, which is good news. A couple of people have been saying just to replace the battery. That might be causing some of the electrical issues with the door latch, so I might as well just do it. Gotta go to the parts store, get an oil filter. I had one somewhere, but I lost it. All I can find are my BMW ones, and I don't even have a BMW engine anymore. I have an LS1. Oh, this is gonna be a heavy girl. Oh, yeah, it's heavy. So light. Don't know much about it, but it is AGM, and it does seem to be a decent battery. It looks like this says 12-12-20-20, so the battery's really not that old. But I don't know if it was kept on a charger or anything like that. New one can't hurt. Disregard, boys. Found the oil filter right in front of the battery chargers, where it belongs. One less thing to do. Got the main drain put back in, fill it up with oil, fill it up with tranny fluid, good to go. Oh, and a battery. And everything else that's wrong with the car. And at least try to clean some or most of this up. I might not have enough kitty litter. No, I don't think I do. Better than nothing, at least. I definitely didn't get enough kitty litter, and I forgot to get more. Alright, got everything I need to finish this fluid change job, except they didn't have a battery for this car, so I'll have to go somewhere else to get a battery. Not a big deal. Probably have to jump start it. I'm gonna put these other drain plugs in, fill it up. That's it. That should be all the holes plugged up. For the engine at least. Let's move on to the transmission. I say fun because I gotta pump it into that hole, which is never fun underneath the car, laying on your back. Oh yeah, we're filling up. Come on, you've gotta be almost full. There we go. Thankfully, boys, I think we are done underneath the car, at least for this episode. Next episode might be tranny mounts, though, since we already got it up here. Let's throw 9 quarts of Mobil 1's finest European blend in the car and fire it up. Hey Google, how much oil does a 996 turbo take?
On the website RM European the engine with 9.2 quarts of oil.
9.2. Let's see what that reads. Gonna need this. Yes, the old battery. Unfortunately, I want to start it. Oh, yeet this thing back in there. And I put it on the wrong side. Shifter feels good. Shocking, it's dead. Battery's off for like a day. Since the battery is dead, let me introduce you guys to a new tool you probably haven't seen before. At least not on this channel. And this is going to make sure this thing fires right up. This is the Amp Pace P600. Not only will it start your car or truck, it's a massive power station, as you can see here. So it has all the ports you could ever want on the front. It's got your car DC outlet, it's got your home AC outlets, 2 of them. It's got 3 USB-A outlets and a USB-C outlet, as well as the capability to attach the jump start leads, and you can actually attach additional batteries to this thing. It is a nice unit. We are at 100% capacity, super easy to charge. It's got a nice LED light on the front that gets very bright. Let me show you how it'll fire this car right up, no problem. No problem at all. Now, if any of you guys camp or go overlanding or anything like that, this is something you guys can definitely use on your campsite. You can power things like your coffee maker, a microwave, charge all your devices when you're off-site, have no access to electricity. You can even get a solar panel for this to charge when you're out in the wilderness. And obviously, it does an excellent job at jump starting your vehicle. You can charge it at home, you can charge it in the car. It's got all the features you could ever want. Big thanks to Amp Pace for sponsoring this video. I'll have a link for this below if you guys want to check it out. No leaks yet, at least that I can see. That's a good sign. Plenty of oil pressure. Let the old girl get warm. Check and make sure my fluid levels are good. Oh, that's a wrap. And I'll show you guys the shifter. Feels great. Oh boy, there goes the camera. Shifts just like normal, except obviously it's a short shifter, but I can get through all the gears, which is good. So the detent is in correctly. A, is it warm enough yet? And B, how close am I? Nope, not warm enough yet. Stand by. It's gotta be warm now. There we go. Oh, buddy, I freaking nailed it. Sometimes I impress myself. The previous owner did no maintenance to this car, so I'm trying to get caught up on that. Oil change is all done. Transmission fluid is changed. Got that new detent in there. Failed on the oil pressure relief valve. I already got the fuel filter changed. Still want to do the front diff fluid. I haven't researched that yet, what I need to do for that. Still got to do spark plugs. We're getting there with maintenance. We're almost caught up with maintenance, and then we can do more fun stuff. Also, you guys pay attention at the end of the video. I have this thing scheduled for paint. If you made it this far in the video and you're excited to see this thing all in one color, comment paint. We'll see you in the next video.